Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. In this video, guys, we're going to talk about Damon Brand's Wealth Magic, mental health, and manifesting money and a better life for yourself. Now, first, I want to talk to you about the term drapetomania. Now, drapetomania was a term created in the 19th century by Samuel Cartwright, who was a physician during slavery. So whenever slaves were sad or depressed or just wondering, like, what is this? He diagnosed them as having drapetomania. So drapetomania is a term, is literally a mental condition for slaves who were fighting against their natural inclination for slavery. Now, I thought it was pretty interesting that they have a term for a person deciding, like, wait a minute, what is this? Yeah, you were no, guys, this is not a joke. You were diagnosed as having a mental illness. Now, the thing that's interesting about this term to me is that I believe that this term could be updated and applied to any time you want to change your life, you feel like you deserve a better life, and the society around you feel like, what's wrong with where you are? Like, why would you want to be a doctor when you could be a nurse or whatever? But anyway, in Frederick Douglass's autobiography, he talked about how during the holidays they would always try to get the slaves drunk. And he didn't like drinking himself, but he said you could get beat for not drinking, because they said they noticed that when people were unhappy with their conditions, they tried to escape. Yeah, they decided, look, this is just not working for me. So they would do things to encourage people to always put on a smile. And you know what was, oh my God, you know what's really interesting is that, now I almost said his name. I think one of his name is Adolf, but basically he was a sociologist or a psychologist who came to visit America during slavery, and people were saying how happy the slaves were to work in servitude for free. Well, you know what I'm saying. And but he listened to their blue, he called it the blues, or their music, and he said that you could tell that they were not happy by the lyrics in their songs. And he said that art is the most pure form of expression that really can tell you what is going on with a person. So when he listened to the lyrics to the songs that the slaves were singing, he said that they were in complete opposition of the smiles that was on their face, or there was, like, he was supposed to be this slap happy person, but he doubted the belief that, or what they were publishing or telling people, that the slaves were happy. And he said because of their music, or because of the lyrics in their music, he didn't believe it at all. But anyway, drapetomania was a mental illness that was assigned to or diagnosed to enslaved Africans who thought that they deserved a better life. And I think that applies to what I'm about to tell you guys. So, well, in a little bit, but I want to break it down a little bit more. So in working with Damon Brand's Wealth Magic, first I want to tell you that I completed the program twice. The first time I accidentally switched the last sigil. Yeah, because they looked kind of similar. Long story short, there were some issues, and I ended up completing the program. I redid the section. It was towards the end, and there were a lot of shifts for me. I don't want to really get into it in this video because I do have those reviews on my channel. Now, in the last time I completed the program, there were a lot of shifts as well. And, you know, in terms of what people will call, you know, some people say, you know, they call it, you know, unhappiness, or, you know. But I have a theory. Guys, I have a theory. Now, I want to tell you, I don't want to be right. I just want to be a part of the conversation about magic. I'm not trying to be right. I want to talk about it from my own personal experience. And hopefully, guys, you can join in with me in the comment box below. You can, you know, say whatever you want to say. And collectively, we can dissect this, analyze it, and, you know, create a dialogue that can help each other evolve, right? So in working with Damon Brand's Wealth Magick, there is a section where you're working with the angel of omnipotence, Alubel, and it is rumored that this particular angel can cause anxiety or depression or sadness or whatever, right? And so one of my, I don't know what this is describing, but a person reached out to me and just said, hey, you went through the program, did you experience any of the unhappiness or a sadness when you were working with the angel of omnipotence, Alubel? And I did not experience, okay, you know what, guys? Let's buckle up. I'm going to slow down because I really want to explain this. This is, okay, this is my theory. I have a theory. So, first I want to tell you about the angel Alubel. I wanted to do some research outside of, you know, working with Alubel, with Wealth Magick, with the Gallery of Magic with Damon Brand. And there are some rumors online. I mean, I thought it was pretty entertaining that in terms of this spiritual being, some people were debating whether it was a male or a female, and somebody said, well, there's an EL at the end of the name, and if there's an EL, it means that it's a female, and if it's a female, that means that their powers are probably undermined. And so, of course, if it's a female, you know, angel, that they're going to try to attach some, you know, negative energy onto this person's name, right? And then there was a debate about the gender. And then just from reading various websites, listen to, you know, various YouTube videos. And then there were some people saying, oh, you know what, the reason that Alubel causes depression and anxiety and, you know, and turns a person's life upside down, and they go through all of these emotions, is because this is not an angel, it is really a demon, and that the demon is angry because there are certain because some people disguise it as an angel, and because of revenge, this is why they turn a person's life upside down. Okay, so these are some of the things that I was reading, and there was a lot of stuff like that on the internet. And I just want to tell you that I think that's neither here nor there. I don't care if Alubel is, I like to call him, an ascended demon or a fallen angel. Yeah, that is not the purpose of this video. Okay, I don't think that matters, because I got something way deeper that I want you to chew on. So now I have a theory, guys. So when you're working with magic, it is so important to be aware of your true emotions, right? Because emotions, the word means emote. It means to move, to put things in motion. So the thing is, I think that as a human society, we have been trained, conditioned, and socialized to detach from our true emotions from the time we're born. Now, so when kids are young, the first thing we say is, we start telling them, oh, you can't tell somebody that they're ugly or that their baby is ugly, or you can't say that, oh, you do like string beans. Oh, yes, you do. We start shaping a kid's emotion right away, because in order to fit into society, we want you to be what we consider polite. We want you to have manners, right? Now, to become a part of a civilized society, it comes at a price, because you have to give up a little bit of your raw nature, so to speak, so that you can fit into the classroom, fit in the workplace. You just can't say anything. You just can't be your true self. And we say, in order for a person to be professional, or when we refer to a person as being a professional, we are talking about a person who we think is always, got the smile on their face. They know how to wear their mask. They don't show anger, right? They only show calm, cool, collected, and happy emotions. That is really what we call professional. There's a certain way that you're supposed to act. Right? We're all just, we're on stage and we're putting on a show. You go to McDonald's and they say, how may I take your, welcome to McDonald's, may I take your order? And it's like you expect this person to be chirpy and happy. And if you are, say you're going out to eat or whatever, and you are interacting with retail people, or if you're the waiter, the waitress, you want them to put on a smile. You want them to be happy. How dare how dare they be human? How dare they show a real human emotion? I am not just paying for my hamburger, I am paying for your smile. Right? I'm paying for you to pretend to love your job and to like me, regardless if I'm rude to you or not. Right? I want you to be a complete robot. Okay. So I want to just say, from the time we're born, we are taught to dismiss how we truly feel, like sometimes when kids are young and relatives want to kiss them and they want to wipe off the kiss. I know I said, don't wipe off your grandma's kisses. That's not nice. And you're like, the kid is like, well, it's gross. And you're like, oh no, you don't mean that. And the kid is like, I do mean it. But the parents, of course, you talk your kids into, saying things that, that is not true to how they really feel. And at some point, you honestly don't even know what your true feelings are. I really believe with every piece of my soul that you don't even know how you really feel about anything. Because, it's kind of like if you go to the movies and you're young, or you listen to music with your friends and they all like a particular song or a particular music and you don't like it. And if you say, oh, I didn't think it was that good. What? Like, are you crazy? And you're like, well, so you lose your ability to really start to think for yourself, or because you want to fit in. You don't want people to think you crazy. I remember when the movie Black Panther, I didn't like the movie. And I think I'm the only person I know who didn't like the movie for various reasons that I don't want to get into. But people isolated me. People said, you crazy. People said, how could you not like that movie? And I wasn't trying to be different. I just had reasons for not liking the movie. But we bully people into groupthink, right? To everybody thinking the same. Now, let me tell you why it is so important for society to control your emotions, to control your smile, your true emotions, okay? For you to oppress them, suppress them, displace them, dismiss them. Because to me, okay, I think your emotions is what make you human. Your feelings is what make you human. I don't care how much artificial intelligence we have in this world, right? I don't care about ChatGPT doing your homework or whatever. I think the one thing that we have that make us human is our emotions. and our true emotions. I'm not talking about the fake emotions. I'm not talking about the fake smile. I'm not talking about saying what society want us to say during the job interviews and when we interact. How are you today? Knowing you don't really care how that person feel. Long story short, your emotions are your most valuable asset, and they are it's the engine. Your emotions are the engine to your humanity. To me it is what make you human. It is what make you powerful. Your emotions is what make the slave say, look, wait a minute, I don't feel happy. This is not what I believe that I was put on this earth planet to do, right? Those feelings make you powerful, and those emotions put you in contact with the divinity inside of your being that cause you to change the world, because you are now reflecting on what it is that you really want. Now, so I wrote this out because I know me. When I get excited, I start talking and I forget what I want to say. So our emotions and feelings is what make us human. It is the only thing that cannot be duplicated or replicated by artificial intelligence. And the thing is, when a person is in contact with their emotions, you can't sell me something I don't need, because I already know that the reason I'm not going to, let's say buy another lipstick because I'm really sad about something else, or I'm really upset about something, because I'm so in tune with my emotions, I don't want to get a new phone. I don't want to get a new computer because I don't need it. You can't use marketing and advertisement to make me hate my body or hate myself or not like who I am. You can't force something on me, because I am in touch with my emotions. I know who I am, and I know what I want, and I know what I'm capable of, right? But if as a human society, if you have been disconnected from your true emotions all your life, I'm going to be honest and say that, right? All your life, not really knowing, you might have wanted to go to school to be a teacher, and everybody said, oh, but teachers don't make any money, and so now you're in law school and you hate it. There are so many people doing things that they hate because they didn't listen to their true emotions, right? Because they stopped listening when they were 2. Now, so I believe when you're working with Damon Brand's Wealth Magick and you start to work with Alubel, Abuhuel, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing all of the names correctly, the angels of omnipotence, and you say, oh my God, but my life is turning upside down and I'm feeling sad. No. Before you were numb, before you were feeling neutrality, and now for the first time you just realize you really don't like green beans. That you really don't like your job, that you really don't want to be in a relationship where you see a person once a week, or you get real with yourself, and you haven't looked at yourself without the mask in so long. You haven't seen the raw you, the real you, you haven't felt the real emotions, and since you were 1. And wait, I gotta tell you this. I always tell my students, I love to see kids have complete and total meltdowns in the grocery store. I said, because one day society is going to take that away from them. One day they're gonna have to put aside that meltdown and put a smile on their face and pretend that they like what just happened to them. And I said, this is so, guys, when I see a complete meltdown, I'm like, baby, get that out. Feel it. because I used to have meltdowns still, but still I love a good meltdown, because we discourage that behavior as a society, because all those true emotions, we are going to suppress them. Because I mean, if you start believing you deserve better and that you can do what you want to do, and I can't control you. I can't control you if you are in touch with your emotions. So when you're working with Alubel, I believe that you are getting in touch with your emotions, because magic, now I'm not going to say what magic can and can't do, guys. I believe that the optimal conditions, let me just say that, for magic to be effective, you must be in contact with your emotions, right? You must know what you want, right? Who you are, how you feel, what you expect, what you feel like you deserve, what you want to change about yourself. That raw honesty right there that you're calling, you're calling it depression. That's you waking up. That's you no longer feeling numb. You are coming to life, baby. And you're like, wait a minute. I have equity in this job. I have a life that I've built. Like, I have a family. I have a reputation. I have an image, a mask that I have created. That I need this mask, right? Yeah, I need this mask. And so when you start to take that mask off, you're like, wait a minute. It must be Alubel. It must be Alubel. Alubel is taking off my mask, child. And it's not my fault, because I shouldn't be feeling these things. Now, for me personally, I'm a person who, well, let me just say this. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say this. So, in working with Damon Brand's Wealth Magick, the first thing I discovered about myself is that when you hurt me deeply, you will be the last person to know. And I'm going to put iron blocks around my heart, right? And so, and because I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to tell you that I know what I know, especially when I know. I'm just going to just tuck it away, because I love hard, I love deep, and I stay longer than I should. But the thing is, because I don't want to discuss, I don't want to be vulnerable and tell you that I know what you did. I know. Then what happens is, by me blocking my true pain and my true emotions, it make me less effective in all areas of my life. It's like right now, if you were to say I don't want to smell bananas, right? Well, you're not gonna smell anything. So what I'm saying is, sometimes when we block our emotions, we block our emotions in so many areas of our life. So I started seeing emotional patterns from childhood, from people telling me, oh, you're so sensitive, and I would say, oh, no, I'm not. So they could verbally abuse me, and I can just take it and pretend to laugh, because I want to prove to you that I'm not sensitive. So you see how once you take my emotions, my true emotions, now you can say what you want to me, and now you can hurt my feelings, and I push it away, and I feel that I want to be strong, because my mother told me that sticks and stones may hurt your may break your bones, but words can never hurt me. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. That's what my mother taught me when I was in school, and I would repeat that to myself. But those words hurt, but I pretended that they didn't, right? So now I'm doing this magic, and I am feeling things I've never felt before, or that I wouldn't allow myself to feel. So I want to tell you, the second time I completed the Wealth Magick program, this is how I started Reiki. I was in the last portion, and I was doing a tarot card reading for myself. And for some reason, it's like I was teleported back to when I was a kid. And I'm at the breakfast table with my brothers. And my mom. We're in the kitchen, and my brothers are laughing at me. I was the oldest of two brothers. I am the oldest of two brothers. And my mom would always tell me to take the broken cookies, the burnt sausage, anything that was burnt or broken. My mother would always tell me to take it, because she would say, "You're mama's big girl." And, so my brothers would cry. So we're having breakfast, and my brothers are just making fun of me, and I am falling apart. And my mother, she has this a belt, and she's saying, "I'm going to give you something to cry for. You're the big girl. You're the big girl." And this is like, really happened all the time. So I never did. I want to say never, but they got to pick their popsicles first. You're the oldest, so you get the popsicles that's left over. You get the broken cookies or whatever. So this pattern played out also in my job. I always had the classrooms that didn't have windows, because I didn't want to fight about it. Other people would say, "I don't want a classroom without a window," but I would take it because I don't want people to look in anyway. But I wasn't, the reason, but I just thought, why not? I would take whatever somebody else didn't want. I got used to living this life of believing that I deserved what was left over. So once I got in contact with those emotions, I decided I need to get help. But I wasn't even aware of this emotional pattern that had been going on in my life. So I decided to, sometimes, and I want to just, I want to be honest, and I want to talk from my own personal experience, is that sometimes when you go to a therapy, when I was looking for a therapist, they chastised me for, going to college. I have 2 master's degree and a doctorate degree. And they said, "What kind of mother are you? Like, how could you allow your mom to, keep your kids for you to get a degree?" And they just, oh my God, it was just, it's a long story. I don't want to make the video about that, but I just want to say, people would say either you need to, you're selfish for pursuing your college degree, or you need Jesus. How often do you go to church? So when you're looking for a therapist, guys, sometimes they are trying to help you remain in the current reality that you're trying to change. This is kind of like when the enslaved people were unhappy, and they would have them see a physician who told them that they had drapetomania, and that he would do certain things, like they would, like beat them, or to help them see that this is where you belong, and it's crazy for you to want your freedom. So, but anyway, I decided that I was in I have a term that I made up for myself, a divine state of determination. And I call a divine state of determination is when you are working to change your reality, but it seems like your life is being turned upside down, and you have to reach deep within your soul to get the courage. But see, your emotions are attached to courage. You can't have courage without raw emotions. Your raw emotions is what make you so powerful. This is the energy that, like, if a baby, well, I'll say a baby, but you know, the people have lift cars. People have done miraculous things because of the power of their emotions, right? So, but anyway, so a divine state of determination to me, and I want to share this with you. I had a job once where I was working for the state, and I was making about $56,000 a year. I had health insurance, and I wanted to study. I wanted to study for my doctoral exam. So my supervisor at the time, she said, nope. I said, but you know, I was caught up on my work. I did everything so that I could be prepared to study. She refused to let me use my time to study for my doctoral exam. This is also a time when I was going through a divorce, when I refused to sleep with my professor, and my father, when I was in, my father died. It was just like all of this was happening at one time. And I remember there was a co-worker, her name was Jeanette Dinwiddie. And she, you know, I'm telling her, I know I'm not going to be able to finish my doctoral exams. I'm not going to be able to finish graduate school if I can't study for my exam, because they would only have the exam once a year. And I was like, you know, this is going to put me further in debt. And Jeanette Dinwiddie, she said, you see this job? She said, this job is where it's a graveyard where dreams die, because there's really, you know, we have really good health insurance. We make decent money. She said, most people have come in here with dreams and they die in this place. She said, if you're ever going to get your doctorate degree, Cassandra, and live the life that you want, you're going to have to leave this place, because this place is going to hold you back. And so I did something crazy. I quit my job, and I was in a state of divine determination. I was 4 months behind on my rent, and so they were going to like evict me. And the guy, the apartment complex, he knew that I was in graduate school and that I always had like 2 or 3 jobs. And he said, look, I have to like file the papers for legal purposes. He said, but I'm not going to show up for court, but you have to show up so they can dismiss it. Okay. And because I know that you're going to pay me the money. And I did. But anyway, so I'm behind on my rent, and I'm taking my doctoral exam, and I'll never forget, they said, well, you know, and my dad was in James H. Cole Funeral Home, and people were like, how are you doing this? And I was crying myself to sleep every night, because I was in a divine state of determination. Now, the difference between, during this time period, I wasn't working with the Wealth Magick. So it was like, it was same emotions, but I knew what I wanted. I knew what I was up against. And for me, guys, what keep me going is I always tell myself, when I'm 95 years old, the life that I want to look back on, the stories that I tell my great grandkids, I want it to be amazing. I want to entertain us, right? But anyway, so when I'm working with the Wealth Magick by Damon Brand, and I'm going through something similar, yeah, something horrible. Okay, the difference is, I felt that the magic and working was like a psychological or a spiritual, emotional balm that soothed my soul. When I saw that crow, guys, I know I've said this in my video before, but there was a crow that was on the banister that came to greet me, and I knew, I mean, like this sounds like something, on my banister, looked me dead in my eyes, and I knew that crow was telling me, it is going to be all right. We got you, Cassandra. So even though everything was looking like it was turned upside down, I knew that everything was working out in my favor. It just gave me hope. It's like, I just thought, instead of me, let me just say this. Being in contact or being aware, allowing myself to feel, that's the word, allowing myself to feel my true emotions, to me, allowed the angels to bring about the shift that I needed to get myself out of that situation. You understand what I'm saying? I knew that only if I was honest, only if I could reach, only if I you know what, guys, I think, first of all, I don't want to get, the video is getting way too long, but I think that the angels work with the etheric template, which is your, I want to say your throat chakra, but the etheric template in terms of your energetic body. But I think they can only work with truth. And I think that if you are a person who is not comfortable with taking your emotional mask off, if you're not comfortable with your own feelings, if you're not comfortable with, yes, that made me jealous, or no, I'm sad, no, I want more. Like there are so many people in this world who settle and they allow themselves to feel numb and stay in unhappy marriages and stay at unhappy jobs and not push their lives because they would rather feel numb than feel the pain and frustration of being in a divine state of determination. And I call that also the terrible twos. So what is going on with a child when they're in the terrible twos, guys, is you have this little booger who my grandson is 2, by the way, and they know more than they're able to articulate. They know more words than their biology is able to say. This is when the kid has decided, I'm not crawling anymore. I'll be walking. I don't care what it takes. I don't care how many times I fall, but I'm out of here. I want my freedom. I want out of this playpen. This is before he turned 2. I'm not going to be in this playpen. Now, and he would get away. Like, he would escape. He was in a state of divine determination. People call the terrible twos because the kid is like crying and no. The kid is saying, I need a change. I'm sick of this nasty baby food. I'm sick of this playpen. I'm sick of this high chair. I'm sick of you telling me what I like and what I don't like, right? I'm ready to change my life and I want my freedom. That's what the terrible twos. And I think, you know what? We go through the terrible twos, some version of the terrible twos our entire life, especially if we are people who want to be the greatest and grandest version of ourselves. If you are a person who feel like, I don't care if I'm 70, I'm still going to write my book, I'm going to start my YouTube channel, you are going to get pushback from the people who want to seal your reality and tell you who you should be at 70. Like my mother and I used to fight a lot when I was in my 40s. She used to say, Sandy, you're too old to wear short skirts, shouldn't go above your knees. I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. And she was like, but you just too old for that. When a woman turns 40, she's supposed to wear her skirt below her knees. No, I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm gonna do what I want to do, right? So it's like, it's things like that. I mean, even though I'm giving a simple example where people want to keep you where you are, but when you can honor. Now, it is a dance. I want to say this. It is a dance to be able to be civil and have manners and be kind to other people, yet still be aware of your own true emotions. Am I happy in this marriage? Am I doing everything I can to make sure my marriage is happy? How am I really giving it my all? Am I giving my job my all? You know, why am I complaining? See, you know, in another video, I want to talk about the different types of wealth. And sometimes I think people don't even know what they want. I didn't even know what a rich life I had until I almost lost everything. You understand what I'm saying? Marilyn Monroe. They said that the night that she died, she called 12 people and told them that she needed somebody, that she was in pain. Like, she died so young. What I'm saying is, when you live a life and you are out of contact with your true emotions, your true desires, what you really need, I think you can end up being a shell of yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm going to say that I don't think that Alubel is causing depression. I think she's causing you to wake up to who you are, take your mask off, your true emotions, all the emotions and dreams that you have been trained and socialized to believe that was impossible. Now you're looking at your life in an analytical way. You're reflecting on yourself, and changes are happening so that you can look within your heart. I really hope this video helps someone. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you, darlings, in the next video.